I love it when you talk dirty.
Hello. Can you come and do the thing with the screen so we're not staring at ourselves the whole time?
And she kind of moved the camera.
Oh, that's why I put it behind the camera. So it didn't matter if y'all do or not. Y'all are looking at the camera when you look at yourself.
Okay. Bet.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
You're going to test our egos today.
He did like that on purpose?
Yeah. All right. Talk.
Well, I say, y'all, I mean, a few folks have requested it. It's like, yeah, if you put it back here, then it's like, all right, well, yeah.
I mean, I'm cool with it.
So he said,
I
when
feel
we look
like
at the TV,
it's helpful for me because if I look at myself, then I'm just looking at the camera. So, yeah. All right, bet.
All right.
Pakish, thank you.
He set it up like that on purpose.
Yeah, he did. That's why I'm like trying to move. I'm like, I don't want to touch this shit. All right, we can get popping.
All right, we can get it popping. All right, I want to welcome everybody to the Dirty Talks podcast.
Hello.
Where we take things to a dirty level. I am your boy, Dirty James, and to the left of me, I have the love of my life.
Oh, Jasmine Divine.
And today we have a special guest that we are super excited to talk to. Her name is Gem. Did I say it right? GEM. And she's super dope. She's a deaf doula and she does more things. I want you to introduce yourself because I don't want to like fuck up the introduction or anything like that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hello, I'm Gem the Deaf Doula. So I'm also a Reiki master teacher. I facilitate safe spaces for people to heal and be their most authentic self. I also do past life regression work, mediumship, and a lot of other things. But I'll leave it at that. And I just really I'm here to help people just return back to themselves. And I do that through just safe spaces, just to be vulnerable and authentic. So, yeah.
So beautiful.
That's
So
super
exciting.
dope. Like, yeah. So it's crazy. Like the backstory of how I found you on Instagram. I think I follow this girl. I think her name is Crystal. Her name was like Beautiful Chris on Instagram or something like that. And I think she's a birth doula.
A birth doula, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I just met her.
Right.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I think y'all did an event together or about to.
We did.
Yeah, I did do one already. And I think I had seen you tagged in there. Someone told me to click on your profile, and then I instantly saw like the deaf doula shit, and I didn't really know what that was at the time. But some Emmy was like, "Yo, Jasmine, need to see this. I should show my girl this," and I just followed you. And I'm like, "Damn, I hope she don't think I'm on no weird shit, 'cause I know your page was private." But you followed back, and then I showed Jasmine your page, and then she was like, "Oh wow, this is super dope." She followed you, and then like the moment we saw your page, we was like, "Yeah, we definitely got to get her on the podcast."
Yeah, for sure. And I have to get to one of your events, man.
That too.
Yeah.
That
One of your
too.
galleries. Because it's like we do our own little thing when it comes to plant medicine and stuff like that. But for me, essentially, there's always like so bittersweet because I feel like there could be more guidance on an aspect of using the plant medicine for what it's meant for. You know, it is for, like, yeah, you can use it for fun and for extracurriculars, but there's also like a much deeper aspect to it. And I feel like over the years, I've lost touch of that. And then so I want to say about a week or two before finding you, I was like asking, I was like, oh my God,
Yeah, you did
universe,
say that. Yeah.
I need depth. I need someone to help me guide myself back into that. And then that's when it's like, poof. I was like, oh, okay, here she is.
Yes.
Exciting.
Yeah. So like, when did you find out that you like had that gift? And I don't know, like, how did you find like your purpose like that? That's why like the journey of it all.
I found my purpose through death. It was through my partner's transitioning that I just came into my gift. So I say that knowledge is something that is taught and wisdom is something that is innate and that is like dormant within you that has to be awakened. So certain experiences, specifically traumatic things within our human experience is what unlocks those gifts. So within that, I had a lot of moments to myself and I started calling upon my spirit team and communicated with him. And then I just started to remember all the abilities that I have. And it was just like a switch and like my entire life changed like within a couple of days. So
Was it like a moment that you had to like really like channel that? Like what was that moment like, and how it's like, how did you find it? Like, just walk me through it, because I couldn't imagine being able to just um to find a gift like that. I think
Well, how about we'll ask like what if you could explain for people who probably don't have any clue what
yeah
we're talking about.
that
Explain
too. Yeah.
exactly what your gifts are, or like how, say for instance, we did went to one of your things or one of your events or gatherings. What would that look for somebody who's never done it before?
Right. So in regards to my gifts, so I'm a psychic medium. So basically, I live in between worlds. So I live in between the physical and the spiritual. Like that's literally like the medium, right? So it's like I am tapped into those invisible realms. So I'm able to invoke certain energies with my mind. I'm more of a mental medium. So like when I channel people's loved ones and receive messages, it comes in like visions. To me, when I close my eyes are always closed when I do things like that. It like comes up as like a text message. It's like I'm downloading, because it's like you know, you're on like the cosmic grid and you're able to download information. So it comes in the form of visions for me. So in regards to unlocking those, it was through meditation, honestly. Literally just sitting with myself, and things just started coming up. So like meditation is like a portal to your soul. Like that's where your soul resides, you know, like none of this is real. So when you close your eyes,
That's when
those invisible realms is what's actually real. So you start to unlock. So I just started to sit with myself. I meditated probably twice a day, every day. This has been my regimen for about to be 2 years now.
Okay.
But yeah, I just started doing that every day and just keeping a solid routine, and also just reading a lot and just immersing myself in nature. I feel like nature is another thing that really
Yeah.
unlocked it, because you know, being one with the earth is how you really find yourself, because nature really reflects back to you who you really are. So I just literally just sitting with myself, like, and getting away from the world. I feel like that's why I was put through that experience, because through solitude, like you become more of who you are. So it just started to come to me. I just started to remember, and it's like, wow, like this is me.
right.
And then like in regards to like the spaces that I host, I would just say that it's also through meditation, because every space I host, it always starts with meditation and prayer, because I want people to come back to their soul. A lot of people don't meditate.
Right.
And you know, don't shut their minds off. So through that, it's so simple. Like humans, we try to make things so complex,
Right.
but it's
right.
really just simply through the breath, because spirit is the breath. So literally just sitting down and having conscious breathing, that's what promotes DMT in the brain, and that's what allows you to access those higher realms.
Right.
And through that, you know, people start to see things and feel things and pick up on things, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's man, that's deep. So like within that process, do you feel like you was also like healing yourself at the same
Oh,
time?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so. Because when it comes to your gifts awakening, you have to release your darkness too, because you can't embody light without darkness.
Yeah.
So your shadow comes up. It's a lot of shadow work that has to be done. So like a lot of things
can
just were
imagine.
coming up, and you know, I feel like I'm a person that has a lot of mental chatter. With that gift of me being so mentally inclined and intelligent and intuitive, it does have a shadow aspect where it can be a chatterbox brain and just linking on to distractions and overthinking. So that I would consider that my shadow self that I had to work through. Just not like telling the thoughts to go away, because they're always going to be there.
Yeah.
Mainly just shifting my focus to more positive things.
Yeah.
That's true. I learned in life, it's always better to look at the glass half full instead of half empty. It's like you say, if you focus on the negative shit too much, it kind of just like takes control of
Yeah.
you and just take you down like a rabbit hole you don't want to go through. Like, cause I know sometimes I used to do that a lot, you know, back in the day when I was younger, and it used to make me depressed. I used to just feel like the world was against me for no reason, like it was a chip on my shoulder, and it's like I would just drown in misery and be scared to deal with like the real world type shit. And it wasn't until like I met Jazz when she made me more comfortable with being my authentic self and like stop giving a fuck with like people who really don't give a shit about me think about me. It's like I had to
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
let go of the oh, what would this person think? What would that person think? And it's like, who gives a fuck? They not paying none of your bills. If they was really here for you, they'd be trying to uplift you and not judge you every chance they get.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of. I say that to you all the time. Like, why would you care?
No, for real. It's our egos. We get
Yeah.
we get attached to these
Yeah.
perceptions that people have about us, and we like want to like upkeep that.
Yeah.
And it really is not that big of a deal.
And it's like a lesson. I feel like when it comes to shadow work and healing, it's a constant. It's a constant thing where it's like
God, you
I
gotta
feel
keep
like-
fighting it off.
I feel like every
Yes.
year I hit like this breakthrough,
Mhm.
and it's like then I look at who I was a couple of years ago, and I'm like, damn, bitch, you
Yeah.
thought you knew. Like you
Exactly.
you thought you knew what you
Mhm.
were doing, but it's like every single year you'll hit this mode where it's like, okay, I need to break through this mental thing, this whatever's holding me back. What I'm obviously trying to hold myself back. And who was it? I think it was Jim Carrey who said depression is just pretty much you like oppressing yourself. And when you're fighting
I
off
feel that.
those moments where you know you need to sit with yourself and figure out what's supposed to happen, what do I need to heal, not meditating, not sitting with those thoughts, and then that's when you fall in those deep pits of depression, man. And it's an ongoing thing. Healing is not like this one day you just hit.
Hell no, it's
Oh,
not
no.
overnight.
It's like,
It's a
you don't
it's a
just
process.
there's
Hell
not
no.
this like magical field you reach and you're like, I'm healed. Like that's
Oh, no.
Yeah.
that's death.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
death.
feel like part of healing is, or a big part of it is like falling in love with yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't really
Over and over again, like
Yeah.
a partner.
Yeah, you
Right.
can't
Yeah.
genuinely love like somebody else unless you really love yourself, because it shows through people. I feel like with friends who I feel like were just miserable, and the hatred they have for themselves, they will lash out on me and project their insecurities on me, type of thing. Do you feel like you get a lot of support from your family or friends? Like, do you feel like anybody tried to like discredit you along the way of like, you know, being on this your journey and your purpose and all
What
of
was
that?
your religious background
Um,
as well?
I would say Christianity, like majority.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you know, I grew up with my grandmother, and you know, she just let me be myself. Like we went to church here and there, but she wasn't super
Forcing it
like strict
on
on
you.
the Bible
Yeah.
thing. Like
Right.
we both share a similar path as we're born on the same day, so we're just
Oh wow.
you know just finding our way throughout. You know,
That's
the world.
beautiful.
But in regards to that question, so I've never openly shared this, so I'm very happy to share this. So my partner transitioned from an overdose, and I was with him that night. It was me and some friends, right? And you know, from a family perspective, it can be distorted because you don't know exactly what happened. You can assume a bunch of things, right?
Right.
So basically, like, they pretty much blame me for his death.
Ooh.
They and they're still doing it too. We don't have a really good relationship. During that whole time, and because of what I do, they're very hardcore Christians, so they think I'm a witch. They think I'm
Yeah.
the devil.
Yeah.
They think I sacrificed him, and I didn't.
the
You know,
hell?
basically the root of it is they feel like I didn't do enough to save him. Right? I did everything that I could. I did everything I needed to. And you can't put someone else's death on them.
Yeah.
I'm not God. That was between him and God. I'm not
Right,
in control
right.
of when somebody leaves. That
Right.
was something that was destined and that was fated, and it was time for him to go to a new journey. And he, you know, so it was just a lot of that because, you know, they don't really know me that well. You know, like I've been around them a lot, but they never really got to see me for
No,
me.
you for you.
So
Yeah.
they
Right.
can only assume,
your
you know,
heart,
they
yeah.
know that he loved me. You know, we have a son together, but they don't know me. So they
Was they
only
kind of
assumed.
closed off to you, like always? Like, do you feel like they was trying to like welcome you with open arms when you were around?
Yeah, I feel like when we were around, yeah, we definitely, you know, it was surface level, but you know, I felt welcomed. I didn't feel rejected or anything. Like everything was fine. Like you know, me and my son would come over all the time. You know, like for gatherings and holidays. It wasn't anything. You know, everybody was cool. You know,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, I never took it personally because it's like y'all weren't there, right? I mean, and y'all are blood family. Y'all have seen him since diapers. It's a whole different thing. You know, this is my partner and somebody I created a son with. And you know how some people can look at that, like the baby mama thing, and assume that, and you know, oh, maybe he really didn't love her like this. You guys don't even know, you know what I
Right,
mean? So like,
right.
it's just an assumption, and I'm not upset because It's only a reflection of them.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
mad. They, they have to go through their own journey.
Yeah,
And I
the
can't
feeling.
take it personally. I have to keep on moving.
Yeah.
So I have not really had any support from my son from his family at all.
Damn.
It's pure hatred.
Yeah.
Damn.
Just because of the situation and because of what they assume based on their religious limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
They assume that I'm this evil person.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm the exact opposite. And it's so funny with Christians that, in the ways that they act, they're very much so the devil themselves.
Right? Ain't no
And it's
love
just
like
like-
Christian
Sometimes
hate.
it could be like a
Or ain't no
hateful
hate
cult.
like Christian love.
They are
There
really
we
a
go.
hateful cult, yeah. Like
could be a
they
hateful
are
cult.
not with the shits. It's very ego based. They don't understand.
Mm-hmm. A lot of
what
my
God
trauma
really
comes from
is.
Christianity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
A lot of
it's-
my main
I mean,
trauma.
if we being
ego-based,
real,
yeah.
we was enslaved through Christianity. They used to read the
Exactly.
Bible before they beat
Exactly.
our ass. So,
It's a spell that people are
That
on, and
continuously,
some people
yep.
break it and some don't. But that was the negative side. But I do feel like through that, I was able to cultivate my own community. So I'm very grateful for that experience because it made me found my people.
Yeah.
I created a group called Spirit Circle for my own help, my support, and with my son. But it turned into something even bigger than I imagined because not only do I have a support system, now like I want to turn it into a nonprofit organization, and I
Yeah.
host groups, and like I've expanded it. So I'm very grateful for that hate because it reflected back in me like what I need to do. So I'm grateful for them. Keep
Yeah.
hating because like I'm good and I have the support I need. People are finding me and I'm grateful for it.
right, we found you. And
Right.
That's like,
Yeah.
that's
And
like
more
the dope
people are
part.
gonna
Yeah.
find you.
No, right?
And
I
I'm
feel-
happy that you had that. I'm sorry, babe.
No, no,
One
you're
quick-
fine. Go ahead.
So, like, I'm happy you had that mindset because you couldn't with the other way, and like you
No,
said, fell into
right.
depression
Yeah.
and really
Yeah.
blamed yourself
No,
and
literally.
really started harming yourself that
Yeah.
way.
Which a lot of
Exactly.
people do. They
Yeah.
they take the other route.
Oh, like I was like, when I tell y'all the stuff I went through, like at the funeral, I was a stranger. I was not acknowledged. She took me out of the obituary. I had pictures and a thing that I was going to do. She took me out of everything. It was fuck me. It was, and even when I went to go to the wake and brought my son with me, she didn't introduce me to anybody. She just, it was like I was nothing. And
Damn.
I'm very grateful for that because it made me realize who I was. And I'm actually a lot better than them. And that's why I've been removed
Right.
and feeling rejected. It's actually I'm being redirected
Right.
towards people who are more of my vibration. They're
Higher
not on my
purpose,
vibrational
yeah.
level.
Some
So,
I've heard and from a lady that I follow who's also a medium where she says like when you are raising your vibration and when you're placing yourself on in a different scope dimensionally within the realm still and within the world still, people will just disappear
yep.
because you're not in their same dimension.
Yeah,
anymore. You're
we
not
don't even
on the
attract
same
them that much
right,
anymore.
right.
Like you have no reason to be around them. They have no reason to be around you. They serve no value or purpose in your life.
Exactly.
So it's like, why
They will
would we
just-
run into each other?
They will remove themselves or your reality remove them for you because you're no longer in the same field
Exactly.
at all. So
Yeah.
you can't even I mean, when you can ponder on it, you can grieve for it or be angry or upset, but at the end of the day, it's just a testament of the work that you've done
Exactly.
and where you're going. So I applaud that.
Oh, yeah,
'cause
that-
Thank you.
with the
Definitely.
whole
Yeah, because I could have took it somewhere,
Yeah.
but I was like, I'm above that. Like this is really ego based, and y'all.
How
no
long
point.
were y'all together before he transitioned?
2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Mm.
How did y'all meet? If you don't mind me asking.
So we went to the same high school, but what's funny is I had rejected him for a while because you meet people when you're ready. You know,
Right. What high school was it?
Cleveland Heights High School.
Oh wow, that's where we
Oh
live.
wow,
in
that's where
Cleveland
we
Heights.
live.
Yeah.
My
That's
son
crazy.
goes to Heights.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so we met there, and then it was just one random night, like I was out, like, and like we just started talking from there, and I was like at his house every day till he transitioned. Like it was like a picking up where we left off on the soul level. Like immediately there was immediate trust, immediate love. Like it just felt like we knew each other our whole time.
Yeah.
So that 2 years to me felt like a lifetime.
Oh yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, I always tell her. I feel like a lot of my relationships before her would last like 2 or 3 years, but the shit would feel like it's been 10 years because I try to get past the honeymoon stage as quick as can. Like I don't like being blindsided with shit
Right.
down the
You
line.
need to
So
know.
I kind of like shake the table early and have those uncomfortable
Shake the table, he blow
conversations.
the house up.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
I kind of
Shake
like
the table.
I need to know who I'm dealing with. So I got to ask those uncomfortable questions and have them conversations so we can put all the shit on the table so I can see if this is something that I want to deal with long term. And I'd rather do that than keep getting blindsided every few months to the point where I really find out the real you in like 10 years and I wasted fucking 10 years of my time. I'd rather get to know you in the span of 2 or 3 years for the person you really are. And then if it works out, cool. If not, at least we can say we ain't wasted 10 years trying to figure each other out.
Exactly.
So I'm like real big on that. Cause the honeymoon phase, I feel like everybody is trying to like put their best foot forward. It's like a facade. It's like nobody's really being themselves. I like nowadays I gravitate towards people who I feel like are genuine and being authentic. Like you said, you help people be their authentic selves and find their purpose. And yeah, like even with this podcast, like with us starting it, I just feel good about like, when people come up to me and they, tell me about certain, conversations we had on the pod or certain topics we discussed, like it feels good knowing that they was able to take something from that. And like do you have like one of your proudest like breakthrough moments with somebody who came to you?
Well, recently, so I work with a lot of grievers. I host a space called a Deaf Cafe, and recently we had a Day of the Dead ceremony, and it was a mom who lost her son this summer, and she was basically saying just by being in that space that like she's been feeling so much better. Like she's in her whole perspective has changed, but just by being there and listening to what I had to share, and putting her on to meditation and connecting with her son, like she just expressed how much like her
It's
life is
helped
already
her.
changing.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what does it for me. I love being able to remind people that death is not real. The relationship that we have in regards to death is the reason why people don't move on from grief. So that is my main thing with my grievers, is teaching them ways to connect with them because they have never left. And we live in an illusionary realm, so
Yeah, we
it's
do.
imperative for them to find a way to move and heal. So I feel like that really touched me recently.
Yeah. And death is so taboo. So it's like a lot of people don't even feel comfortable talking about it. So to
Yeah.
be able to come into a space where not only are you feeling more comfort and you're learning and you're gaining more knowledge of what's surrounding the processes of death. I feel like when my grandpa had just recently, I think was it?
That was in
May?
Yeah, like May or April.
May.
Yeah.
My grandfather had passed away, and I feel like the hardest thing about that was he was very religious and he had a lot of life. Well, he was a very lively man. And seeing the fear, I feel like in him was what broke me, was him. And for some reason, dang it, I was the only person he would express the fear to.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me that.
Nobody
Yeah.
else.
Nobody
It would
else
be
knew.
in
He
these
feels safe with you.
yeah, these moments where he would
Yeah.
just be like, I'm scared. You know what I mean? And it would kill me. But I feel like that fear comes from us creating these moments of like, or creating this idea that it's supposed to be scary.
Exactly.
We don't learn. We don't know. We don't tap in the way we're supposed to. And what really was I guess not frightful, that's not the good word, shocking to me, is my grandfather was a very tapped in man. So to see that fear, I want to say it is natural, I guess, to have some fear, but it's like still like we should talk about it to where it's normalized.
Yeah, it's not
you
fear
know,
anymore.
to where it's more normalized on a day-to-day basis.
And I feel like it's natural for people to fear like what the unknown, like what they
Yeah.
don't know, what they can't
Yeah.
understand or put a type of grasp on. It's like people, have fear in that. Like I'm sure people might fear you because they don't understand you or just scared. Do you feel like?
Scared? Why would they be
Well,
scared?
no, not because so she like because she's tapped in the way she is. I could see like a lot of people being like intimidated like by like do you feel like a lot of people are intimidated by you?
Definitely the religious people, the Christians. Yeah. They view you as like an evil witch,
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah.
I say that proudly most of the time.
Yeah, me too, because
Yeah.
I know who I am. Like, I'm in my power and you're just afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if only you knew how powerful you were, like, you
Yep.
would feel amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I feel like, man, this might sound fucked up, but I feel like the people who are like frequent churchgoers and who really take like religion seriously. Damn, what the fuck I was about to say? I feel like people who take like religion seriously are like limiting themselves about
Yeah.
like what they can really
Absolutely.
tap into. It's
Yeah.
like
It's very
it's like they
limiting.
hitting the ceiling.
And my thing is like, y'all run a spell once a month. They run that, where they eat the blood of Christ and
They
all
do
that.
all these
They do all these
rituals.
rituals. They also talk about demons and angels and the spirit world and the Holy Ghost. But yet, if somebody were to literally come to you and tell you that they were serious about seeing some shit, hearing some stuff, tapping in, hearing, y'all would look at them like they're crazy. So do you really believe it? Do y'all? Are you sure? Because
they
you know
don't,
what I mean?
they don't even really
Like,
read the Bible either.
Yeah.
And like, to
So-
be real, it's a lot of questionable shit in the Bible. And like the Bible was written by white men, and white men have history of just fucking up in society.
Well, the Bible is
period.
a spell book.
Like it's just
Yeah.
like it's a lot of questionable shit in there, and it's,
I like
it just
Psalms,
makes me-
though. Don't
it's-
hate on Psalms or Proverbs.
it just makes
really do.
me.
I enjoy Psalms.
It
or
just makes me,
Proverbs.
like you said, I overthink because I told you my moon side. Like I go like on a deep dive about it, and it's just like, how did they come up with all of this shit that they were saying, especially the dumb shit that they
Right.
said in there? And it's like, can we really trust white men anyway? Because I don't know, especially since they came to America, they just been fucking up to this day. So it's just like, why would I trust anything a white man has to say? And you think I'm about to praise that shit? Like I don't know. It just never made sense to me. And like my mom, she's religious, and like we
Yeah,
had
hopefully
conversations.
she never see this podcast.
Right. Like we had
getting our ass.
conversations, but like I kind of brought it up to her. Like I think she kind of know. Like she seen clips of my podcast. I remember one time she asked me.
Her friend found my Instagram. So.
I think she might have seen a clip, and then one time she asked me, she was like, "Hey, you and Jazz are not porn stars, are you?" I'm like,
Oh
no.
my God.
I'm like, no. I'm like, we talk about sexual things, but we talk about so much other shit as well. But we just so comfortable in who we are, like we just very open. But it was just funny that she thought that. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's just hard for me to commit to something or really be a believer in something to where, white man created and want us to follow it. And
Right.
it's just like, for what? Like, what's the intention behind following you? Because
Right.
like anytime you tried to lead us, it wasn't to the promised land. So
You know what's
it's like-
really, really, this is way off topic.
Mhm.
Well, no, it's not. It's on topic, but it's off topic. Sometimes just to hyperfixate on something and give myself some dopamine because I'm ADHD, I'll sit and be like, one day I'm for real gonna die. Like, think about it. Like, everybody has their time.
You know what's crazy?
Everyone.
I feel like a lot of people.
One day
who-
this breath is gonna be the last one.
The crazy thing is, I feel like a lot of people who are breathing on this earth are dead on the inside.
Oh,
for
yeah.
real.
Zombies.
It's like,
yeah.
they not really living for real. They are shelling
I
themselves.
can't
They-
remember what spirit, like one of them YouTuber dudes who used to say that they're like for real NPCs out here, or like people whose souls have ejected prior to them even like
Yeah,
dying.
a lot of people are just surviving. They're not really having any experiences. And where our loved ones on the other side are, they're actually more alive than we are. Because, they live in a realm of where everything is telepathic, everything comes alive, it's extrasensory. So it's like I can compare it to like being on psychedelics here, but even
Yeah.
more beautiful there.
Yeah.
Just that feeling of aliveness and realness and just feeling love.
I have moments. I used to have moments when I was a kid, and I remember these where, when you're a kid, you're like kind of still in like the in between.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there was a few different times when I was a kid where I would fall asleep and I would be able to like slip back over to the other side, and it would be the most like alive and joyous. I can't even explain the feeling that I would feel like it would bring me to tears if I
Yeah.
like,
Literally.
but and then I would wake up and just be so mad.
Yes.
I would be so like, why am what like?
Yep.
And then it makes you think and realize like why your kids throw fits for when they're toddlers or like when they're super upset. And I always remember that when I was a kid, and I would go in the bathroom and I would just sit and I'd close my eyes and just kind of like be like, okay, go back.
Yeah.
But I couldn't, you can't. But yeah, like this is not real.
I feel like
Only like
It's
a
code.
portion of who we are, not
Yeah.
even that.
I feel like it's like a simulation. I feel like we like the real life Sims.
Yeah, we
In a sense.
projecting through
Yeah.
these bodies. It's cool. But this is not who we really are. And
No.
we're not gonna be here that long. So
Nope, just a
it's
blank.
just for an experience.
Just a little lesson, little video game. We got bored one day and decided to put the goggles on.
No, literally. Like this is the lowest density of realms. Like we're in the third dimensional reality. So all the higher dimensions, why it's so more peaceful and so much love is because they're not weighed down by human limitations and ego
Yeah.
and bodies. It's heavy down here.
Yeah, it
but
is.
It's very heavy.
Yeah, we're here to
Fucked
learn
up.
though. Like so, it can be beautiful though.
Yeah, and I remember me and Jazz was having a conversation, and I was like, "Yo, no wonder why the aliens don't want to fuck with us. Like we like infants to them. Like we still have racism. If they introduce a way for us to get like free electricity and power, we're not gonna take it because it's gonna, make the electric companies go out of business
Right.
and
We
it's
always
come up with some
capitalistic.
shit.
They really don't care for real.
Yeah.
Honestly, if that's it, I mean, to not be so blunt, but I feel like I've had my fair share of communication with my own soul family and intergalactic family where it's just not even that big of a deal. Like we supposed to go through this the way we're going through it for a reason. They're not going to come and take time out of their day to try to talk some, you know what I mean? Like it just would cause too much.
Yeah,
Too much would happen by them revealing themselves to us.
Yeah, that will only happen unless literally we were like almost there about to kill everybody.
Yeah, like somebody
Like
about
okay,
to
we
be
have to. Step
All right,
in.
now we have to step in because now you messing up with our stuff.
You
Like
about to fuck up our
Exactly.
shit. What we got?
because
what we
we're
got
all
going-
connected. So what we do has an effect on
Everything.
Yes. So like that's why they're trying to help us now through just intuitive nudges, and people just aren't paying attention until it takes things like death for people to realize things. It's like humans don't learn until a crisis moment. Like
Yeah, it's like niggas gotta hit rock bottom to
Exactly.
really like get the full picture. It's like
Yeah.
you could try to preach to somebody like, "Hey man, you should be doing this, you should be doing that," but it's like shit gotta hit the fan. And
Yeah.
shit,
Exactly.
it gotta be
Then
like
they
as worse as possible.
oh.
And it's honestly so crazy to me when people are like, are they real? Are aliens real? Are spirits real? When I had those questions, I sat and I just went to, I researched some stuff, I read some books, and I figured it out myself. If you really want to know, do what she said and meditate. That's all you got to do. Just sit down, meditate, and ask. Ask for it.
I think a lot of people though are scared of who they really are, especially if somebody
Oh,
been living like in the
absolutely.
closet or something like
Yes.
that. It's like they don't want to accept the truth, and on top of that, they know if they do accept the truth, how are these people who I'm close to are going to view me? It's like a whole new reality for them that they may not be ready to face. So it's like a lot of people are not ready to live in their truth and wonder if they're gonna be accepted. But I think I like unapologetically being myself, because if somebody don't fuck with me because of who I am, I look at it as like I'm just weeding the people out. Like I'm doing myself a favor. It's like, all right, if you don't want to fuck with me because of who I am, then move out the way so I can really find my tribe type of thing.
Exactly.
I just rather live life that way, and just, be proud of who I am and who I'm meant to be. I feel like I can be an acquired taste for certain people, but the people who do like me are gonna fuck with me heavy and go to bat for me. I understand I may not be for everybody, but the people who do fuck with me gonna ride for me to the end for sure. So I know you said your son's father family don't, you don't have a good relationship with him like that. But how do you feel like your family like supports you for what you're doing?
Well, I would say that I'm very different from my family. People who have gifts and stuff, we're placed into families that are opposite, so that you see who
Othered.
you aren't. They're aware of what I do. I don't think they really know. They might one day, but I feel like whatever I ask them, if I need them to show up, they'll be there for sure.
Yeah.
That's
But in
dope.
regards to just like the knowledge of it, I don't think they truly understand. They might one day if they're supposed to, but I do feel like I can call on them for help for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any wild or crazy stories psychically or mediumly?
Oh, yeah, that'd be dope.
Let's do a scary story time. No, not scary, but you know what I mean.
Like
Well,
catch you off guard. Or
I'll
something.
say like, cause it's not scary to me because
Yeah.
it's a realm that I'm very comfortable in.
Mhm.
But like, I would just say like just things moving, like like or lights flickering, or me losing something, like something like one of my ancestors, like my grandmother, like she'll move something to let me know, like, hey, I'm here, and it's like stuff like that, like just moving
Yeah.
stuff in the house, and I'm just like, oh,
Yeah,
But they
shocking
they aren't too
things, yeah.
dramatic with me because they know that like I don't need all the dramatics.
All the dramatics, yeah,
Some
yeah.
people do to make them really understand, but like with me, it's more subtle. Like they just move stuff around,
Yeah.
flicker of lights, or like just different sensations in my body, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's wild because it's like there are signs if you pay attention, but a lot of people aren't paying attention
yes,
enough,
they're
or
so
they doubt.
subtle.
That's
They'll,
true.
they'll doubt themselves. Like when me and my grandpa would bond over lizards and and moths and bugs and things
Aw.
like that throughout my whole entire life.
I love
He would
that.
bring me lizards and he would bring me moths. Or
Oh my
when I was a
God.
kid, like there's we were eating dinner one time and we used to have these giant moths in Boise where I'm from. And they're like this big. And one time he put one on his face, and
Put
then
a
he
moth
was
for real?
banging.
Oh,
Yeah, he
shit.
put a huge moth. It covered his whole
Oh,
face.
man.
I'm
What the
sitting eating dinner, and he's like banging. He's banging on the mirror or not, the glass, and he's like, hey. I look over, and it's just my grandpa with this big ass moth on his
I ain't
face.
know no moth can get that.
Or
damn
he
big.
would just bring me lizards. Like, here, you want this? And I'd be like, yeah. So I want to say the day after he passed away, I want to show you. Let me see if I can
She
show
got
you
him
this
at the
video.
screen. Oh, I thought you were about to show her
Yeah,
the
that's my
screensaver.
grandpa. No, I'm gonna show her this video. I'll show the camera too, so they can see it. So,
Right.
2 days or the day was it? I think it was the day after.
Yeah, it was real
he
quick.
passed away.
Aw.
My cousin is Stan. My cousin Stan and is at his house after he passed away, and he's in the bathroom. It's like 2-3 in the morning, and he sends me this in the bathroom where my grandfather's bathroom.
Oh, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that crazy?
Yeah.
But
That's
it's like
beautiful.
if I didn't know or if I didn't trust, then you would just write it off. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But
I love that so
it's
much.
those signs. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but that's
Hopefully, he'll be able to zoom in.
the
They're watching
lizard.
this.
Yeah, we'll zoom in. But oh, they can see it.
Mhm.
You see the moth. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's really the little
it's those
things.
signs.
Yeah, little,
man.
So
little
subtle.
signs.
You guys have to trust.
It may like be woo woo, but like honestly, the woo woo is what's actually real.
Real. Yeah.
Everything else is the fake shit. So it's
You're
like
right.
you have to kind of like trick your mind and play with your mind.
Y'all don't believe in actual nature or actual signs of the earth, but yet you guys believe in paper money.
Literally
and
though,
currency
it's
that's
so
just made
backwards.
up. Yeah.
They
So
believe in the
crazy.
Bible.
Yeah, they
believe
got
in the
that
Bible.
one.
They
White,
believe-
white Jesus.
Yeah,
That's crazy
That's another
if you
crazy
think
thing.
about it.
Like, that's
Right?
what really did it for me. I'm just like, yeah, y'all out here
a
whitewashing
whole white
everything.
person,
Like
like-
they made Cleopatra white. Like
None of that shit makes sense.
yeah, it's
None
just,
of
They
it.
don't. Nobody questions anything. They
That's the
just go
problem.
with it.
But they don't want people to question because then you find the truth.
Right.
Like you
Exactly.
start
And
And there's no
digging.
money in that.
Exactly.
There
There's
ain't no money in
the
the truth.
Nah, ain't.
Nope.
It don't fit their agenda.
Nope.
Like,
This is a
that-
whole new side of Dirty Talks y'all getting
Right,
today.
right.
Y'all didn't think we were on this shit. Y'all just thought we talked
But
about
no, we had episodes before where we show other side. So you know what's crazy? Like the signs. I remember. I don't even know if I told you this, babe, but like I had a dream, that so both of my grandparents on my mom's side passed away, and well, all of my grandparents passed away on my dad and mom's side. But I was in my my grandparents on my mom's side used to live in Southgate Towers in Bedford. And I had a dream that I was just sitting on the couch in the living room in their apartment, like by myself. It was like a fireplace and all that, and I was just sitting there, like calm as ever, just meditating, and just felt like some type of warmth. And
that was him.
yeah, and I was just sitting there, just calm, like I wasn't panicking or anything. And then Man, that day at work was so tough for me, because I had to wake up. My alarm clock woke me up, and I don't know. I feel like, damn, I got to go deal with the real world, and I just felt so much warmth and like comfort, in that dream. And
Like they're saying, it's gonna be okay, baby.
yeah, it was just like that day particularly was just tough because it's just like, damn, I was like in a happy place,
Yeah.
and it just made me remember them.
You
in a
remember
certain
where we
way.
were?
Yeah.
Where were we at? We were about to go to Rudy's Pub.
Mhm.
This was such a weird moment where we were just chilling, listening to. I think we were listening to Jay-Z songs or Biggie songs or something. And I feel like it always happens in these moments when me and you are just like super vibing. And in my mind's eye, I saw your grandfather walking around in a Browns jacket up at the top of
Oh,
the,
yeah, I
the-
remember that.
the- up at the top of the garages, and I was like,
Aw.
I was all, did your grandpa have a Browns jacket? And he was like, yeah, why? And I say, your grandpa is like up there, like looking, like saying, just vibing pretty much with us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like, I think he just wants to make sure like you're cool. Like he's just vibing with you right now for some reason.
Yeah.
It was so weird. And it
love
always
that.
happens in moments with him specifically. I get the most craziest, like,
Yeah, because after my grandfather passed away, he had a whole bunch of like sports jackets. And even though I couldn't fit them, I wanted them.
yeah.
So like I think it's over my mom's house right now in her basement. But
yeah,
like,
and I ain't never seen that jacket, but it was
yeah.
just weird. I
and
was
I
like,
have like one of them is a Browns jacket.
Yeah.
so that's like the crazy part. Like I got a whole bunch of his jackets like in my basement, and I just keep them just to feel closer to him.
I love that.
Yeah. So
y'all tell us y'all's stories too. And when we post this clip, give us you guys' stories on the bottom in the comments. I would love to hear them. I love stories like that.
yeah, no, that definitely, and that's one thing I want to get more comfortable with talking about death, because I was like a little nervous with this episode because like I get emotional when I do talk about death because it reminds me of like good times,
Oh.
like with people who did pass. So
And that emotion that you feel is them trying to connect with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it makes you tear up, because
Yeah.
their presence is so, it invokes that energy.
Yeah. If you pay attention close enough to it, you'll realize that it happens in specific moments. My brother, who also passed away from an OD, he connects with me when I'm in my car. Listen to music. He always rocking with me in
I
the
remember you had a
passenger
whole
seat.
playlist.
love
I remember
that.
Yeah.
I remember when you passed, you made like a playlist of songs he liked, and that was like super dope.
And
I
he'll,
love
if
that.
there's a certain song that
Mm-hmm.
comes, it don't even have to be a sad song. It's just like a new song. And I just, boom, start getting that. You get that feeling like it's kind of in your chest and in your heart area. Your
Yes.
heart chakra right here, and it's like starts to well up, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Aw.
And I'll start feeling sad, and then I'm like, oh no, he just here.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
exactly- yeah.
He's just here, and I'm like, all right, let me turn it up, like let me roll the windows down, like
Right.
Is it certain songs that remind you of loved ones? Like, is it certain like go-to songs you would like play to make you take you back to a time with a loved one who passed?
I feel like a lot of Michael Jackson music from my grandmother, and a song called "Voyage to Atlantis." And then when it comes
Who made
to
that voice to that sound familiar? Who made
who
made
is-
that?
Voyage,
To
is
Atlantis.
it the I? Hold on, let me check.
Voyage to
Is it the
Atlantis.
Isley
That
Brothers?
sounds
It might
sounds
be them.
familiar. Is that Earth, Wind, and Fire?
It's one
It
of them.
might- it's one of
It's
them.
one of
It's
them.
one
for
of
sure,
them.
'cause
Yeah.
That
see.
sound
That
crazy.
sounds very.
I definitely. What?
The Isley Brothers. Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
That.
yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Yes, them, and then my partner. He was an artist, so he has a lot of music. So I listen to his music all the time.
I
To
seen
stay
you had
connected
posted
with
a
him.
video of him performing, and that shit was turned up.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is a fucking rock star, and he's still making music and being a rock
I'm
star.
sure.
So I'm so proud of him. and
I'm
happy for
sure
him.
the one thing that people misconstrue is that life stops. They be
No.
moving and grooving over there.
Literally,
Turned up.
like
Yeah.
they are not they are more alive than we are.
Yeah, they have
Like, the
access to
shit
so
they be
much more.
doing, They can think of the ocean. They literally become that
The
ocean.
ocean.
They literally feel everything. They can do whatever. There is no space or time there. There is no ego nor fear. So they only can be their most authentic selves. That's all they can do.
It be making me jealous. I
No,
be like,
literally, like at the beginning of this journey, I wasn't suicidal, but it was like
You have a
me-
moment.
I was like,
Yeah.
I want to come. Like this shit that they were sharing and the dreams and the
Yeah.
feelings. I'm
This
like,
shit is lit.
take
It's lit
Yeah.
me
over there.
tonight.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I gotta
goddamn.
deal with this bullshit here.
No, literally.
Yeah.
But it's like I have work to do, and a part of that work is invoking those energies here on earth. I'm big on bringing heaven to earth because it is simply a vibration.
Yeah.
We all have access to it. It's
We
just
all
certain
do.
things we have to do to maintain that.
Yeah.
And it's literally where they are is in the present moment. When we get to those moments, that's when we can feel a piece of that bliss. That's why, when we're not thinking about anything, like when we're dancing or having fun with people we love, it feels like there's no time because I
Right.
mean you're
Living
in that
the-
vibration of
living in the
heaven.
moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's why I love psychedelics so much because that's like the most I
yes.
feel closer to the earth. It's
Yeah.
like
Yes.
I just feel like I'm away from all the bullshit. It's like a form of like self-love.
It is.
And then people around me on the same type of time, like
Yeah.
I can share that experience with them. It's like we create our own world, and it's
Yeah.
always like a dope ass vibe, and it made me get rid of my ego. Like I still have ego moments sometimes. Like I feel like I got like
Oh yeah,
some
he had
nice
a big old ego.
yeah. like,
I
yeah.
said, "Here, take this."
Yeah, Virgo and Aquarius? Oh, shit.
I said, "Here, take this." He said, "This isn't probably gonna do nothing."
Wow.
I said, "Okay."
I have the perfect space for y'all to come to next month then.
Yeah.
Like the crazy thing. So the first time, so I was uneducated on psychedelics. Like when we first started
Thought I was a
dating.
crackhead.
Yeah, she told me she took
No, yeah.
LSD.
I'm not gonna lie, that was me too at first.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the
this. You know what they say is white people shit. I'm like,
Right,
you know what I'm saying,
exactly.
and we always
That's what
say
keeps you
stupid
away
shit
from
like
it.
that. Exactly. And when she told me she took LSD, I'm like, oh, she's killing herself. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like my uneducated ass at the time thought that it was like heroin or something like that.
Same. I thought
I had
that
to do
too.
my
I
research.
thought that too.
I'm like, oh, they saying mostly good things, able to help like war vets with like PTSD, that type of
Absolutely.
shit. And so I agreed to try it with her one night. She gave me like a half a tab, and at first I didn't feel it because I think I had to keep it under my tongue for like 30 minutes or something.
Yeah,
they
30
say,
minutes.
and I was also drinking that night,
Oh.
and I wasn't feeling anything. Then me and Jazz, we had sex, and it's like as soon as I came, I just started feeling it. Like I just feel like a tingle in my body, and I'm just like, oh
Right.
shit, and I was just like
Never
in a
was the
different-
same ever
Yeah, I didn't fall asleep till like 11 a.m.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
no
Oh,
yeah,
time.
there-
You
yeah,
don't
no
want to go to
time at
bed.
all.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep. We stayed up and talked. We had like uncomfortable conversations
Very.
about like our relationship dynamic.
I love that for y'all. so
and
much.
everything. But anytime we take psychedelics, it brings us closer together. And like I said, it made me more assured of myself, and it made me like accept myself and who I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like it was even as something as simple like I'm like, damn, I feel like I would like to wear overalls, but I don't know. And then Jab was like, why can't you wear overalls? And I just start.
Right,
next thing
don't
I know,
overthink it.
I
Yeah.
got like 7 pairs.
And I told him, I was
overalls.
like, my grandfather used to wears overalls, and he's the dopest. Like, wear overalls.
Hell yeah.
Like, I was just overthinking like a lot of shit, but I just
Yeah.
had to get that like not give a fuckness about shit. And
Yeah, you had to knock down that layer.
yeah, and yeah, I feel like. So do you feel like a lot of people egos are like part of insecurities?
Yeah.
Like can people have like a healthy ego, or is that no
Yeah,
such
there's a
thing?
healthy ego. You
Yeah,
have to
for
have
sure.
the ego.
I feel like the protective nature is, that primal protective instinctual thing is that thing of, that's good. And then it's like the negative aspects are just like the overthinking, the assuming, creating false narratives, and just doing things that aren't you. You know,
Right.
buying into facades and just,
Yeah.
feel like egos like get in the way and it separates.
Right.
And I feel like
Trying to fit these little perfect, well, not even necessarily perfect. It could be underwhelming yourself or overwhelming yourself.
yes.
And I be trying to
Completely.
find that balance of like when I should
Yeah, because
You
I feel
like-
like our egos are valid. Like you
Yeah.
should, you should feel yourself. You
should
should
pop
be
your shit
confident.
sometimes,
You
you know.
You
and-
should, because I mean
Yeah.
we're here to experience life, so why not?
Right. Not.
And I guess my like in a healthy way, I feel like my ego comes out when me and Jazz like step out together, and I feel like we both look nice, we compliment each other. You know what I'm saying? The dudes looking at her, the girls looking at her, like we just feeling good. Like anytime we do the live pods, like when it's the audience, like I
Yes.
feel my ego coming out, but it's like a good thing. And,
Yeah.
I feel like, part of growing is knowing when to check your ego.
Yeah.
And like put, you know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, it's not the time and place for that. Like, let's be humble right now and let's not overdo it with the ego, because ego can get you in places to where you hurt the people like closest to you or who genuinely give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
So that's when the ego can like kind of get out of control.
And on retrospect,
Absolutely.
you can hurt yourself with your
Yeah.
ego.
Mhm.
Your ego has a way of making you feel like the scum on somebody's shoe. You know what I mean? You can really talk to yourself in some really diabolical ways because your
Yeah.
ego
Right.
is just running rampant.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two retrospects to it. You can be very loud with your ego, with the insecurity, or you can be very quiet and withdraw yourself because of the ego. I feel like I've probably done the latter, which that's the reason why I probably haven't been so willing to do LSD or mushrooms, because I know a purge is just right around. Like, I just know it. That's why he's been like, oh, why, like, let's do some sass, let's do some. I'm like, bro, the next one that I do ain't gonna be fun for you or for me. Like,
So you feel like you're
I
gonna have
can
like
feel
a
it.
like a breakthrough or like
Yeah,
an ego
I can
death
feel
type
it.
of thing?
I can feel it. Yeah.
See, like with me, I feel like I got to a point anytime I take psychedelics, like sort of our plug, she's like this modern day like white woman hippie, like she's super cool. I'm not gonna say her name, but right, but she makes LSD gummies.
Ooh,
So
gummies.
that shit is even more potent. And I remember I had took them one night and I didn't even tell her, and she was upset 'cause she would have took them with me. But like that shit is even stronger because it's like
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
with the tab, you gotta keep it under your tongue
Mm-hmm.
for it to get in your bloodstream, but all of it may not even get there, especially if you swallow it
Yeah.
like, quicker. But like with the gummy, all that shit is like
It's right
in
there.
here. And that shit, I felt that shit within like 20 minutes, and I was up all night and I was like watching music videos. For some reason I was watching a whole bunch of fabulous music videos. And it felt like
That's
I was
funny.
You be
like
doing the most.
right, she like
Like-
snoring or whatever. And like it was funny because like right before she went to sleep, we had sex, and I feel like it was weird. Like I feel like my dick melted inside of her. I'm like, damn, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? But she was just wet. But when she was, when
Like,
she
I
went to
don't feel my dick.
Oh my god.
But she went to sleep, and I was watching like music videos on my phone, and it felt like I was inside the music video. It felt like I had like a VR
Yes.
headset on. Like I just became part of another world. Even
That's
when I
literally
woke
like
up,
the other side.
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
just-
Like
right?
I was just in a different world, and I
Embody
was,
something,
and I think
yep.
Fab was putting out like a whole bunch of freestyles at the time, and he made music videos. So I'm like, damn, how the fuck I didn't know about all these dope ass
Right.
songs he was making? And like I felt like I
So
was
he was just
inside
in
every
his world
Yeah,
at that
yeah, just in
moment,
his
right?
world. I'm like, oh, this is what he been going through. Because him and Emily had split up. I didn't know about that. And then even the next day, I think we was going to visit her brother, who was living here at the time. And like the whole day, I couldn't stop playing Fab. Like even when we went over there, I'm playing songs for her.
I think
brother.
I had to tell you, like,
Like,
hey,
yeah,
babe,
like-
I'm all fabbed out.
I'm done.
Like I just
Fabbed
kept
out.
playing Fabulous for like a week straight. But I was just on that type of time. Like when I'm
love
tapped
that.
in, I'm just like tapped in. So
What is your psychedelic of choice?
you said mushrooms, right?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like mushrooms. He don't really dig them. He's like, I gotta eat them.
Yeah, I just hate the
He
fact I
likes
gotta
very
take
quick.
so
Yeah,
much
it's
to
different
feel
for
the
men
shit.
because it's
Yeah.
it's a more of a feminine thing.
Yeah,
'Cause, I mean,
mushrooms-
No, it's not
earth.
even. I guess I hate the fact that I have to eat a lot of this shit because I feel like with me taking one tab
Oh,
or
I
one
get what you're
gummy,
saying. Yeah.
I get the same effects and hit. It's like for mushrooms, I got to eat like a
That's
whole
how
bunch
Yeah,
of
you
the
can
shit.
put it in tea and you
That's
can
what
make
I
it as
told him.
gummies.
Yeah,
Because I do that.
Well, her one friend, I remember he sent us
gummies. Yeah.
No, it wasn't gummy. It was like he
The
put
Laffy Taffy things.
mushrooms and Laffy Taffy.
Yeah.
and
That
we
sounds
ate
good.
that, and
Yeah.
that shit was fire. But
Yeah.
but I didn't have to eat a lot. It's like I think they say you gotta eat like an eighth of it,
Yeah.
or to
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
like feel something. But with a LSD, I can either take one tab or just eat one gummy, and I'm already there.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
I
the
feel
only
like I
thing.
appreciate mushrooms because that's more psychological.
It is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I feel like I can really tap into some different modes psychologically with that. That's where I'm really going to be able to push past some boundaries.
So I remember on Labor Day when we had got an Airbnb on Labor Day, and some of our friends were there, like our female friends, and we was playing like a truth or dare game. So everybody took sass. It's like the Sister of Molly, like I was telling you about. So that's more like good feelings. You feel good or whatever. And like some of the truth or dares that was going on was kind of like risque, as they would say. But it was one girl who didn't take sass. She took mushrooms instead. She was just like on a different like,
Yeah,
Oh,
she
like
was on
a
a
different
different
vibration.
like one of the
Yeah.
Was she
dares
more
was
like calm and mellow?
Yeah,
or?
she
Yeah, like
was
in her
trying.
own
She was
own
trying to
world,
have
yeah.
like deep conversations.
Oh,
and
y'all
yeah.
was
stuff.
cooked.
And
Yeah,
we
and
were
like one of the
Sass
dares
is
was
more like lovey dovey,
Yeah, touchy,
uppity, touchy
yeah,
feely,
yeah.
like cuddle. You know what I mean?
And one of the dares was like the kiss her on the cheek, and then
she was
she's
all,
like, "Do you want me to kiss her?" And she's
"I'm
like, "No,
good."
I'm good."
Which if I was on mushrooms too, I would be the same. I was
Yeah,
like,
and then
Yeah,
she
'cause
like went.
it's too much.
Yeah,
she went
too
to sleep
much.
like early. Like we was up, like everybody else was up to like 7 in the morning.
That
She went
sounds
to
so
her
fun.
room and was like,
She
she
probably
was
went to
out
go
for the
zone
count.
out.
Yeah, like it's
Stare-
an introspective thing. You have to be around people that you're like really close.
I was very
to and-
surprised that she decided that drug choice. I was
Right,
like,
right.
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah. So what was your first experience like on shrooms, if you remember?
My first experience on shrooms. Let me think back. I've done them so many times. Okay, so I was with my best friend,
Mm-hmm.
and we were just at the park, and we literally just got lost in time, like just staring at the flowers, laying in the grass, just giggling, just laughing, like so we about to pee on ourselves. Lots of giggles, very just laughing and just happy, and then we took a shower together,
Ooh.
and like
Hey.
It was a friendly shower.
well, he's gay, I'm straight. We're
Oh,
Oh,
he?
that
Okay,
it was
okay,
a male
okay,
friend.
okay,
Okay.
But so yeah, so we were in the shower and we were just like feeling everything. Like we were just feeling. Like that's all I can say.
Yeah.
We were just feeling like the water was just running all on us. Like the
Looks
suds were like
cool.
talking and it was just like it felt like we were like on an island or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Yeah.
we were not in the shower. We were in the shower, but we were not in
Yeah,
the
I
shower.
get,
No,
I
I
get what
feel
you're saying. I
you.
get what
I know
you're saying.
exactly what
100%,
you're saying.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. Yeah.
So, yeah, like it was just that, and then like you said about the music, like we were listening to some Badu, and it was just like I was just in her realm. It's like I became
Yeah.
her. I was experiencing whatever she was going through. Like it was just so beautiful. Like everything was amazing.
Yeah, I got like a playlist. Like whenever I take psychedelics, I got like a playlist that's called "Let's Take a Trip," and like I just got all like my
Yeah.
favorite songs I like to listen to when I'm on psychedelics, and it just puts me like in a zone type of shit. Like I love that. So a question I do want to ask, like, so have you ever like met a guy like who was like into you, and then when they find out like what you do, like is that like a challenge? Like, do people like accept that, or do dudes like get afraid of that? Like when they find out what you do, and it, like, is it ever too much for them?
No, I feel like they're attracted to it.
That's dope. That's super dope.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I definitely attract people. I feel like as the work that I do, I attract people who need healing. I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a thing, and they're drawn to the light. I attract a lot of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a multitude of like relationships and things, and I went through different eras. Like I had like a poly era, and you know, they showed me a lot about myself, and I was able to help heal some different parts of them, and it's all been beautiful. It's never been any fear. I feel like if anything, it was curiosity and maybe a little confusion and like, how is she able to do these things? But it was never a fear. But I will say, like, I guess they would be like, is she gonna put spells on me and stuff like that? But they weren't like
I always
afraid, but
get
they were
that
just
one.
like, yeah,
His
is
friends
she?
was
Like, you
calling
know,
me a witch for a long
Yeah.
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Even though you are one, it's,
I mean,
it's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but shut up. Like you saying it in a bad way.
Right? Yeah, she's a good
You don't
witch.
even
My baby's a
understand
good
me.
witch. Yeah.
They were like, you put a spell on him. A
mm.
protection. Like, no.
And if anything, the people that be scared be drawn to it the most for real, because they like, what?
Yeah, it's intriguing.
Right,
It's
right.
Yeah, they're
intriguing.
like, what does she know that I don't? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With the poly situation, did you ever deal with like signs of jealousy?
I feel like I was a jealous one.
You feel like you were the jealous one?
Yeah, I was.
You weren't with it.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Well, when I joined others, it was more pleasurable for me because I'm a Taurus, so I'm a little bit more possessive and more
Yeah.
like, you know, like it's kind of hard to share. But like when others would join, like my partnership, that's when like the jealousy thing would come.
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
So, Yeah.
That's kind of, I always tell people it's always funner to be the third than the main.
Yeah, because it's like, this is my partner. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
it's
like
hard.
because especially like when you realizing like, okay, these are the qualities I was attracted to about my partner, but then when you see those same qualities that you were attracted to working on another person,
right? It's
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
like even the first time,
Like,
like
I'm gonna kill both of y'all.
like even the first time me and her was intimate with another woman, like when I seen them kiss, it stung a little at first. I'm just like, damn, like
Yeah.
it was kissing like passionately, like tongue in the mouth, everything. I'm like, oh, this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then like, but I checked my ego and like within like a minute or two, like I got over it and I was
Yeah.
still doing. But like it was just like the initial shock of like just seeing it because I'm
Yeah,
used to
'cause
being
it's
like
like-
in that intimate space where
Exactly. Yeah.
So
It's a
it was-
lot.
yeah, it's definitely not for the weak. Like you
No.
like
No.
you gotta check yourself for sure.
Yeah, you have to really be
Remove
secure
yourself
within
from-
yourself.
You definitely have to remove yourself from ownership. I feel like that's the main
that's the
one, and
thing.
possessiveness. And some people don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like
Or-
that's something I have to work on. I feel like that's a part of my
Right?
shadow side, being a little
Yeah.
bit too, being a little bit too attached. Like
yeah.
And what I gotta
The art
realize
of like, what is it called? Not detachment. 'Cause is it the detachment? Yeah,
Yeah.
there we
but
go.
it's not even detached because I look at
Detachment.
it like
You have to be detached. I feel like
Nah,
life is
well-
about remaining detached.
when you say detached, do you mean it in a sense like pretending like you don't care or
No,
pretending like
what
it
I
don't-
mean is
Mhm.
understanding that nothing really belongs to you.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, nothing
Good.
is really
the thing, yeah.
yours. Yeah.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
and how I try to look at it like, okay, just because she's connecting with this other girl in a different way than we connect, it don't mean that's taken away from what we have. Like our shit is still rock solid.
Yeah.
She just finds something interesting that she's building separate with this other woman, but that don't mean she love me any less.
Any
It's
less, right.
it's just filling her cup up in a different way. So
I mean, and
can't
then
look at it as
also, like, if you want to take it a step further than that,
Mhm.
like, the art of detachment is being so good with yourself, with you, to where it's like, you can leave me tomorrow, but I'm going to be good. You know what I mean? That's really, truly what the art of detachment is.
that's
I
how it should
can
be.
lose everything in a blink of an eye. How many times have we seen it on the news, on reels, where somebody's whole family fucking dies in a fire, car accident, or whatever? But you have to be so good with you and knowing, you know what I mean, and whoever the hell you pray to or meditate with, to where you'll still be good. You know what I mean? Because you can lose anything and everything tomorrow, tonight. So that's really the true art of detachment. So if you boil it down to the level of, being in a partnership and or poly or allowing your partner to explore other partners, then it's, I don't own you. You're your own person. We only live one life. Who am I to tell you what to do? Who am I to tell you how to enjoy this one life that you get? So when you boil it down all the way to that, like it makes better sense. That's what I try to do when I do get wrapped up in ownership or jealousy or being possessive. Then I'm like, we all only get this one fucking life.
Yeah.
Who am I to tell you how you're supposed to enjoy it because of a way another nigga feel? Because how I feel, I can I have
When they say on
the say
Snowfall,
so.
just because you don't like the way another
Yeah,
nigga
as long
fuck.
as you're being honest
Yeah.
and you're being healthy and you're not putting me at risk and you're not putting you at risk, then cool. Like, do it. You know what I mean? Like,
And I had to find that level of compersion. Like seeing compersion is like when you love the fact that another person can make your partner happy. So it's like I had to
I
really
feel like that's so like true love.
yeah, it's like the fact that another woman can make her genuinely happy and like, and as long as it's genuine, like, because I will step in and be protective if I feel like a woman is trying to use us or take advantage or just trying to isolate her from like our dynamic, like when there's weird shit going on, like I will step in and be protective. But like when she's genuinely in her happy place and I see another, person like really caring about her, that makes me happy for her because it's in her happy place. And it makes me care about the other person because she see what I see in her, like, and I can understand why she would want to make Jasmine happy, like that type of thing. So, like I love that factor in it. But like I said, I definitely get protective, you know, until like I really like trust the other person, like the other woman, because like some women are, you know, I can't pronounce my words.
Opportunistic.
Yeah, opportunistic, and they will try to
Yeah.
take advantage. Like I remember when we was on Hinge, the girl was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for to be spoiled, and then you know I want y'all to buy me nice things." And like it's like her first message to us, and I'm just like,
Oh,
like we don't
so you
even.
came with an agenda. clearly.
Yeah, so I was like, Pete Deuces, because
Mind
like,
you,
Yeah.
there's couples out there, but we just not that.
yeah, like
We got
and mind you,
kids.
I just be buying her shit for no reason. Like if I feel like this will look good on Bay, I would just randomly
You
buy her
ain't
shit.
taking away from my gifts. Oh.
No,
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah.
If somebody
not
was
mad at it.
actually
I'm not
upset,
Yeah, but no,
Yeah,
if we
if
met
we
a girl
met
that we
somebody,
like that
yeah.
much, I would love to
we would
like
both
buy.
be buying
Yeah,
stuff.
like you know what I'm
yeah.
saying. I just like to look out for people.
But if you just walk in like, gimme, like,
Yeah, nah.
what?
I believe that our relationships, whether it's just friendship or romantic, it should be a two-way street. It should never be like
Absolutely.
one-sided. Like as much as I'm pouring into your cup, you
Yeah.
also should be thinking about my cup as well. It should never just be take, and then you just bounce.
Yeah.
Or you-
In retrospect, poly. I'm not saying poly is the end all be all though.
Oh, yeah, no,
it's for
not at
some
all. It's
people.
not for
It's not for
everybody at all.
everybody.
Yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
think that just because you don't decide to divulge into a poly relationship that you are somehow less
No, I would never think that.
elevated.
Yeah.
Or, no.
And I'm just talking about relationships, period. Because like even
Yeah.
if you in a traditional monogamous relationship, you still have friendships. other
yeah,
relationships,
friendships,
you know,
jobs,
period.
passions,
Right.
And I feel like
all
our
sorts of stuff that you have
relationships
to,
yeah,
you know.
our relationships that you have, it should be like a two-way street. It should never be one-sided because a lot of friendships fall out because of that.
Yeah.
You know, and like it was girls I dated in the past to where they didn't have any like female friends at all, and
Yeah.
I would always ask them like, "What happened?"
Red flag.
And every time they would just say, "Oh, well, she did this," and I always ask, "Well, do you feel like you could have done anything different on your end?" And it was always no. And like those relationships,
You've witnessed why my friendships don't work.
yeah. You know, for sure.
They be
But,
wanting to.
but like,
I was like, wait, I was just wanting to be friends.
yeah.
Boundaries.
But are you feel like a lot of them feel because they wanted to fuck you?
I feel like that and the boundaries. I feel like there's
Yeah, one
something.
of her best friends was trying to have a baby with me or
Yeah.
wanted to move into a house. I'm like, yeah, nah. This
Yeah,
is
it's
not-
a
And
for
she was a
some
white
reason.
woman. I'm
I guess
like,
this is
I'm not having
probably
no mulatto kid.
this is probably
no.
something that me and you could work on in one of your sessions that I definitely would want to. But I feel like for some reason in my life, people are attracted to me and test my boundaries full throttle.
Yeah.
Females in particular.
Yeah.
Where it's always where like a point where I'm like, yo, I can't. And lately I've been doing better where I start seeing the red flags and I just cut it off right then and there. But there's been so many friendships or female friendships where it's like, this is overwhelming. Like every step I turn, my boundaries are being crossed or trotted on, and then I'm villainized for making you abide by my boundaries. Like I'm not even supposed to have them in the first place, you know?
Right.
And I feel like at this point, is this like a soul lesson? Like, you know what I mean? Where you
Definitely
start
could be karmic.
realizing there's certain things, patterns.
I like that soul lessons. I like
For
that.
sure.
So, all right. So let me ask you this: how do you feel about friends who only come around when like shit is bad, but like when shit is like going good for them, you don't really hear from them that much? Like, do you look at that as a real friendship? Have you ever cut a friendship off because you feel like they're only around you when shit is fucked up, but like when they kind of get shit back together, you don't really hear from them as much?
I can say yes and no because I feel like some people come around when they're needed. You know what I mean? Everybody's not always meant to be around you. So it could be like a yes or no type of thing. It truly just depends on their intention and what's going on at that time. But like for me, in my friendships, I feel like I can pretty much call my friends whenever I need them. But I do feel like I have that kind of life where I don't need to be around them all the time.
Same.
Gotcha.
So, because if I do, then things will happen like us. I don't know, like with my friends, it's like they ignite something within me. It's like we'll be on Fox 8 News in jail or something. So it's like we
Y'all done
you
ate
know,
the nigga's car before? Or
shit, she
did y'all ever,
said,
wait, did y'all ever fuck a
"Namaste,
property
bitch."
together?
Mama stay
No.
in jail.
yes, yeah.
Y'all fucked up somebody's car?
Not somebody's car, but like somewhere.
She said, "Don't let this scar fool you."
Man.
She said, "Don't."
Oh no,
let
I
this
know
scar
Jim.
fool you."
Hold on, what's your sign again?
I'm a Taurus.
It's Taurus. Yeah, I like Jim.
So this is
very
like the Earth gang right here.
Earth
Oh
gang.
my God,
Shout out
yeah.
to
Gang right
Dreamville.
now.
Wow, that's perfect.
Yeah.
But, no, I can tell. I can look at Jim and tell she's very calm and collective. But I can tell.
Oh yeah.
She needs to go
Oh,
there.
I
She could
have
definitely go there.
multiple sides.
Oh yeah, for sure.
you
Yeah, I
have
can
to,
sense
yeah.
that. Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. For sure, for sure.
Good.
I can
Yes.
definitely see it. In your
I
eyes.
will fuck something up.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like some people take you there, and that's
Yes.
why I'm so focused on like, finding or having a peace of mind. Like I gotta protect my peace because, like you said,
Yes.
if you don't,
Yes.
niggas will
Solitude.
get you out of character, and like you said, you'll risk like your peace, and you might end up in prison or in jail. You don't want
Yes.
that,
Right.
Like,
Right.
And then you think about like, damn, this 2 minutes of me doing dumb shit cost me my whole
Right.
fucking
I have
life.
I still enjoy doing it though. Sometimes, like me and my best friend, I have a bond with him where like we don't hang out all the time, but when we do, it's some really crazy shit that happens, but it's really fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You always have that one friend or a
Yeah.
couple. You
Yeah,
always,
for sure.
Those
That
friends.
Yeah, my
definitely.
best friend is one of my soulmates. for sure.
Yeah, that definitely.
So you say you still have like a pretty, like, well, not pretty. I don't want to like downplay it, but you still have a connection to your partner who has passed on. How does that play a part with like relationships that you have now? You know what I mean? How does that play a part? Do you talk about it to them? And
You
like,
make them insecure.
how does
in
that
any way?
happen?
The insecurity definitely pops up because I'm very open. My partner and I are definitely still in a relationship. We have a child together, and like in regards to like our soul contracts and stuff like that, he has a son that's still here. So like he's with me all the time, every day. We talk every day, and of course I have all the pictures and things of him in my home, and
Right.
I still like travel back to different moments with him, and like we're definitely still like in love in that way. So I can definitely say yes, it is can make people insecure,
Yeah.
and just kind of like wow, like that's something I can't really compete with,
Right.
and
Right.
it's just different. So
Yeah, I'm just a firm believer. Is like you can have separate connections. So it's just like as long as I'm showing up as my best self. Again, I don't feel like that should take
Yeah.
away from what we have. Like you can have another connection with somebody
Absolutely,
else,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
So and as long as you have maintaining that relationship makes you show up better for me, it's like why should I try to stop that?
exactly,
Like why
and
would I
he
want to
even
fuck
helps me like
Right,
with relationships and being
Mm-hmm.
my better self, and he helps them help me.
Right,
So it's like it's a
right.
win-win, but it can be hard for
A
people
nigga
to
have to
understand.
be very secure within
Yes.
himself
Yeah.
and what he brings to the table. and
Right,
shit.
Absolutely.
because
like,
you come in
accept
and
that.
like, why is there? I feel like it's like a for sure way to make sure that you find a secure man. Honestly,
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, you would have to for sure. All right,
I
so,
wish you would die on me. I wish you would. Don't do it.
well, yeah,
Be me,
hopefully.
you, and my vibrator every night.
Not the
A
vibrator.
picture of you right on the
Double A
ceiling.
battery.
Yep.
Right on the ceiling. JR, where you at? Okay, here you go.
So one of the last questions I want to ask. So, what's something? Damn, hold on. Okay, what's something you feel like most people don't know about you when it comes to dating?
When it comes to dating,
Do you talk,
Like, what
you talk
people
to your
be-
ancestors about him before you?
I guess that could be a thing.
Yeah,
but I
it
feel
could be,
I'm pretty
honestly.
open with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
do
guess,
your own
what's
work.
like a personality trait or something that you like to do. Like, what would somebody kind of be taken back by when they
So
start dating?
I'm very much so like weird, I guess. Like I make noises, faces. Like I know I look very reserved and very,
Right,
but,
right.
like I have multiple sides. And
Oh yeah, I'm
a
sure when we
fucking weirdo.
kick it off camera, we about to
Yeah,
get real
I
weird.
am a tweaker really bad. So I guess that's the thing. They're like,
I am
whoa,
too,
like
yeah, I'm
I
weird.
didn't expect her to be weird as fuck like that. Like, yeah,
Hey, we about to have some fun.
Yeah.
yes.
No, and I,
Like
I
I'll
remember
be
that was
screaming and shit. So
that's dope. No, that's super dope. No, that was a
yeah.
theory of mine. I feel like the most like the weirdest people are like the most authentic because they don't care about
Yes.
being weird. Like they
I don't care
hide
at
it.
all, no.
Yeah, they don't hide it. They more true to themselves. So if you're more true to yourself, you'll let certain things show that most people will
Yeah.
be like insecure about showing. So it's like I'm always attracted or attract weird people because they're open.
Yes.
You know what
I'm saying? So-
same.
Yeah,
It,
so
it
that
makes it
perfect sense.
difficult in Cleveland though, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dating here. Because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the men here are hyper masculine. And
Very
in that
much
comes
so.
with like it's like black hyper masculinity also teeters the line of conservatism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's almost as if you can't do too like there's certain men like you do too much around them. They're like, hey, what the heck is this weird bitch on? Like I don't
Right.
do that. I don't be into that. Like damn.
A lot
nigga,
of
you
a lot of
Republican?
hyper. Is this
What
like
the fuck is happening?
is this accurate? Do you feel like a lot of hyper masculine niggas are like on the down low because they overcompensating?
It can be a facade.
It could be.
Because some of the most masculine men I've met like paint their nails, they do their hair a certain way. They're very, but they're like the most.
They come
real
off as
nigga I've ever
alternative.
met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Dennis Rodman type dude.
Yeah,
like, he's very
absolutely. Them be
authentic,
the
yeah.
ones that's going to
They're the
actually
safest
step.
ones. I feel
Yeah,
like.
they are the safest.
Like you
The-
gotta be something, do something weird or quirky.
Like
in order
Tyler the
to-
No,
Creator
literally.
is my
Man.
favorite like hip hop artist.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like,
It's
Tyler-
that's
yeah.
like a big,
He's
huge
great.
yellow or not a yellow flag, a big green flag to me when a man is alternative, a black
Yes,
man
because it
especially.
just shows like you're embracing your feminine and masculine.
And now because
Yeah.
of her, I'm attracted to like a lot of alternative black women
Nice.
because and she's from Idaho. She's not from like who knew I would have met a girl from
Idaho. Wow.
Yeah, I was raised in the boonies.
What the fuck is in Idaho?
Potatoes.
No,
That's right.
Man.
Hey, that's funny. Every time somebody
Everybody
find out she's
says
from Idaho,
that.
they
I
say
need a
what the fuck is
shirt.
in
No,
Idaho?
for real.
I need a
because-
fucking
She need a shirt that
shirt.
say what the fuck is Idaho.
And then on the back, this ass.
That'd be fire. That'd be
I
fire.
love that.
Idaho. Nah, military, things like that. But
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like I wouldn't be who I was today.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel like moving to Cleveland, I was put on a mission. I feel like as soon as I landed here, a certain energy was spread, and I just have been able to kind of change the trajectory of some things that have been going on.
Yeah. Cleveland needs all the help.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
tell me about it.
I vibe real well here. And then also I found my dad here. Never knew who he was. He's from fucking Cleveland.
Wow.
Yeah. Didn't
How
know.
ironic is that?
Wow.
Random
So you
craziness.
You
So-
needed to be here.
It needed to be here, you know. So I really I've been vibing with my time. Here
One
so
thing
far.
that's funny though, because she always teased me about like a lot of times when we go out, we run into like women I have history with, like I've been intimate with, and I'll be like, babe, remember I told you about this girl and that story, and I'm like, that's her right there. And she always teases me like, oh, you was such a hoe. But the thing is though,
You
if we was in Idaho, I'll probably be getting the same story. So it's like a disadvantage for me because
wouldn't.
in Idaho, that's where all her exes at. So I don't get this, you know what I'm saying? I don't have the same opportunity.
So
we
they're
run-
so low key, few and far in between.
Come on,
It
Jay.
wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot.
Man. Just to give you a glimpse, she used to have threesomes with a pastor and his wife
Oh,
in Idaho.
that's nice.
Yeah, in church.
I've lived a life.
The
Yeah.
church people,
Oh, the freaky, they running away from something.
yeah.
So
they
you're
be hiding a lot.
you're straight. Ladies out here who are gay, she's straight. So don't be hitting on her.
I'm
But
like,
have you
I say that
She
because
said, "Don't speak for her."
I kind of
All
retired.
right, she said, wait a minute.
I just don't want to be identified.
I got
because,
you.
know, people will be like, oh, yeah. Because, like, if I
Yeah.
tell people, they be like, oh, I'm going to try to fuck her.
Oh,
So,
I feel that 100%.
yeah, like, I'm very much so attracted to women and have had
Yeah,
sex with women. It's just, I don't.
I feel like
you
you
don't
should everything-
identify.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Because
feel
people
that.
will label me and then, you know,
I'm sorry.
This your people out here in the van?
yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I'm like, yo, like, cause it's like mad glass in the parking lot, and I don't know who been smacking niggas shit out. So I'm like,
Oh, my God.
person just sitting out here.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no, yeah, that's my people, yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
damn, wow, that's fucked up.
Damn, I hope they
Cleveland.
ain't bust my
Right,
shit.
for
But
real.
no, what I was saying, yeah, I feel like things should happen organically. Like just be
Yes.
fluid. You know what I'm saying? So I get you know, being labeled or whatever.
Yeah,
like she used
because people
to
will
claim herself
judge.
as bisexual, but like a lot of girls, like
Judge
really
it.
like real lesbians, they judge like bisexual girls. So she just started calling herself queer because it's like I don't know, with labels come like a certain stigma with it and shit like
Right.
that. But no, I feel like all situations, I really try to like.
Fuck too many hoes to say I'm straight, though.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
kidding.
yeah. I don't know how I got her. Like, I feel like she gay as hell. Like, she get around women, and like, I just lucked up and got with her because because she's really gay for real. But I feel like everything should happen organically. Like, I try not to put expectations on shit. If shit happens, cool. If not, still cool. Like, I don't like to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and people
I'm
do
saying?
switch up and act weird around if a woman says they're bisexual or queer.
Yeah, I
That's
just don't
that's-
say anything.
And especially if you're
Right.
like I'm in kind of like in a safer space because I'm surrounded mainly I'm around a lot of masculinity I'm around him, so I always have that as like a little protective guide. But as a single woman, yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of see why, because you get preyed upon in a lot of different ways.
Yeah,
So I get it.
for sure.
I get it from men and women.
Yeah, because when I was in my poly era, like people would just say off the wall shit to me. So I was just like, I just did it all of the labels and the things because it was just like it was just getting to be too much.
Trust me, I understand.
Because they just start to assume, then they start asking you sexual questions, and it's like you don't even know me. Why is that the first thing that you ask? Like, just because I'm this doesn't mean that I would do that with you. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
exactly.
People just think that
They just
she would
assume.
just. So I just
No, I get that 100%.
Well, man, this was the dope ass conversation. I can't wait to get all the clips out of this shit. Please tell everybody how to follow you and any events that you got coming up. Please let them know about that as well.
Yeah, so you can follow me at Cemetery Lover Girl. I have Instagram and TikTok, so that's my app for both of those. I do
Gotta
have a
follow you on
booking link
TikTok.
in my bio, and I'm working on a new website. I do have different courses coming online in regards to psychic development and a death doula course if you're interested in becoming a death doula. And as far as spaces right now, I'm kind of taking a break. I have been doing spaces for a while, so November is kind of my like chill month. But in December, I will be having like a death and mushrooms gathering to help people talk about death and just literally just kill their ego there and just gain some knowledge. And
Yeah,
I'm
down with
excited
that.
to work with the mushrooms because like we were talking about, like it just brings you back to the earth. You know, it's the mycelium network. It's a connector. It's neurogenesis. It, you know, helps you break down layers and opens you up. And, you know, you just start to download information from God. So I'm excited to facilitate that safe space. So,
Any lasting words you want to leave everybody with?
I would just say every day is preparation for death, you know. Every day we're preparing for our eternal life in another realm. So do everything that you want to do, experience everything that you're here to experience, and don't take life so serious. I feel like we fret about things that just don't matter. We get so distracted. So just don't fall into illusions and make up scenarios. Like, get the facts. Don't assume things. And just don't be so serious because it's so much fun to have here on earth. Even though it's very challenging.
Right.
There's so much beauty in simple moments, you know. And don't fake it either, because if you fake it, you're going to find fake shit everywhere. And you're not
Right.
going to be able to live a good life because you're going to be faking it the whole time with them. And
Right.
you wonder why you're not happy. So don't fake it. Always tell the truth. And you will find your people and you'll find your purpose and just the things that are going to make you happy.
That part.
That's all facts. Yeah, don't fake it till you make it, because making it is subjective, and didn't really make it if you faked it the whole way.
That part.
Just
Exactly.
living a facade. So,
Yeah.
but man, I just want to thank you for coming
Yes,
on here.
Thank you so
like
much.
you dope as
This
shit.
was nice. I can't wait to hang out with you.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I
Yes.
can't
This
wait
is
to
about to
hang
be
out with
fun.
you like outside of
Yeah.
this. I feel like you dope. I feel like we all gonna bond like very well, and I'm just happy that we met and got connected like we did.
Yes,
So,
earth signs.
oh
I
yeah,
love
for sure,
that.
for
Yes,
sure.
this is like what? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is like a
It's
thing
meant to be,
right here.
right? It's dope as hell. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in into the Dirty Talks podcast. Until next
Bye.
time, peace out.
Bye.
I love it when you talk dirty.